Matt Arnold. Are you GM or are you president
I
of
don't
baseball
know. It doesn't
operations?
matter.
It doesn't matter. But
It doesn't matter.
the number 3 best pickleball player of the entire coaching staff, even though you're not a coach. So do you allow Matt? Because we had McGill on.
Yep.
And he said one of the things you guys do is team building exercises.
We do, yeah.
Which we talk all about the Brewers culture all the time. I witnessed it in 18. I've witnessed it since, and from afar. Are you a top 5 in the staff pickleball player?
My answer is gonna be firmly no, because I know if they heard me say otherwise, it would be a problem. So I'm gonna put myself at the bottom and just the underdog, just like the Brewers every time. Sometimes you surprise people, but I'm definitely in the underdog category.
No. The Brewers are not surprising anybody. Maybe the Brewers are surprising like the protagonists and the people who are picking, quote unpicking. You're not surprising anybody. And again, you're leading the league in wins. How is this something that has been continually swept under the rug that because every year you guys are chosen not to win, and then Murph has to go to New York to win Manager of the Year. So how is this possible? And you're the one at the helm of it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it starts with good people like yourself and like guys like this weekend. I mean, I'll tell you what, like celebrating the alumni and the people that have been here, and part of the culture is a huge part of why we've had success. And I'm thrilled we're having the alumni here this weekend, and celebrate you guys. And obviously we're riding the coattails of the people that were here before us. We want to honor those people. We actually just did a really cool event for Doug Melvin. We named our boardroom after Doug Melvin, which is just everything that he's done for this franchise. And when he came here, the organization had, I think, lost 106 games that season before he got here, and he was able to build the foundation that we have on the field today. So yeah, huge credit to him, and frankly all the people that have been here a long time.
Hey Matt, Todd Frazier here. How you doing, man?
I'm great, Todd.
Good. So my question is going to be short and simple here. You're walking down the hallways nowadays during this time. Are some people trying to avoid you when they see you? Have you seen anybody making quick lefts or quick rights? Like, oh no, there's that guy. So talk to me about how hectic it is during this time, and anybody trying to avoid you as you're moving through these hallways?
I think Kratzy will tell you everyone's tried to avoid me for a while, so I'm kind of used to that. But we got a great crew, man, and I love being around it. And I think one of the big things we have here is just that the all hands on deck mentality. The people are in it not just for themselves but for the team. And it's a real thing. Honestly, Murph talks about it all the time with the culture and putting the team first and having team at bats, team offense. Like those are real things that we talk about here a lot. And so I love being around the guys, and just being a small part of it is a ton of fun for me.
How do you approach that at the trade deadline? Because you guys have a special culture. How do you do enough due diligence? Everybody can be like, oh, well, this guy, he has these numbers. This guy has those numbers. That's not what you're saying. You're not saying we need 3 MVP candidates to come in and fill X, Y, and Z. How do you do that due diligence to be able to get the right people into your culture?
Yeah, we have a lot of scouts that do a lot of work on the road, and our coaches know people. They have a network of guys that they have either been around or coached, or have a teammate that has been a part of somebody else's life. And so any way that we can try to gain that type of information, not just on the talent but on the person, is super important anytime we're thinking about adding somebody to the room.
And does this run that you guys have been on, in the sense that, yes, you were leading the division, yes, the Central's been up and down here and there, but now you're leading the league in wins, you're looking for that buy. Does it make you approach the trade deadline differently? Other than, yes, you always want your team to get better, but you guys are also always looking for the future.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. We have to have one eye on the present, one eye at the future at all times, and so certainly with where we are in the standings, I'd love to do what we can to help the team, and we just have to think about those things responsibly. And we work really hard. Our scouts, our coaches put a ton of work and dedicate their lives, frankly, to developing the players and that you have on the field. And I will say that we've had many chances to trade the guys we have on the field now that are one of the best teams in baseball and at the moment. And we've stayed disciplined, and I think that's something that's really important. But at the same time, you don't get these chances all the time. And so I would love to do what we can to help the team responsibly.
All right, I don't think this is tampering to talk about something that happened in 2018.
Oh boy.
Is it?
Okay.
Because I was standing at, we're here at the stadium now. We're here at the
Okay.
stadium now.
Sure.
And a few people approached me from the front office and pitching coaches and bullpen coaches and asked me, would I trade Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff for Jacob deGrom?
Oof.
So is this tampering? Can I?
I don't. I mean, we've had so many conversations.
So those discussions happen. How fearful? You know what Big Woo's done. You know what Corbin Burns has done. How are you saying, oh, man, we don't want to do this, but, man, we would love to bring a World Series, not a playoff.
Sure.
You guys have built something that is playoff. No, nothing's guaranteed in the game. Playoff guaranteed. You want a World Series for this city that's going to come and show out for the Legends game and have 40,000 people here on a Friday night.
Yeah.
How do you make a little bit of a different change this year to make this the World Series team?
I think, look, we understand where we are, and in fact, like honoring people, we did the Bob Uecker documentary. We all went as a team the other night, and that was awesome, and just honoring and doing the things that you're talking about for the state of Wisconsin would mean the world, and the Uecker family and everything like that. So I recognize the gravity of that and what that means to the people here, and I take that very seriously. And like you said, I certainly want to do everything I can to help. And again, it's just, you have the opportunity to help the team, and you just got to think about what that looks like tomorrow as well.
If you're watching us, you already know we're wearing Mack Weldon right now as we talk about a great brand that makes things so comfortable and easy to wear. But if you're listening to the show, let me tell you a little bit more about Mack Weldon with my friend Eric Kratz.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's light. It's summertime right now. For me, though, they cater to what I need, tall clothes. Normally when I buy tall clothes, it's like something that's cumbersome and boxy. It still fits incredibly well, super light, perfect for the summertime. They got me all covered.
Comfortable performance material can be yours. Mack Weldon is the spot. Don't sweat the heat this summer. Feel as effortlessly cool as you look with Mack Weldon. Go to mackweldon.com and get 20% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code FOUL. That's MACKWELDON.com, code FOUL.
Matt, how do you know when to go all in? 2018, you mentioned it, CC Sabathia, right, was traded over there. Or 2008, sorry. 2008, CC Sabathia, the Brewers went all in. They brought Sabathia in. They thought they had a chance. This year, again, you guys are right there. You're winning your division. You're right there for the best record. You have a chance. How do you make that decision to say, you know what, we're going to go all in and go for all the pieces that we think can help us not only get to the postseason, but get to the World Series and possibly win the World Series?
Yeah, it's a good question, AJ. Honestly, I think it has to do with the type of person. I think just talking to Doug, I think would be a great one for Doug Melvin would be the right person to talk to about the CC Sabathia trade and what went into that. And, I've been a part of a handful of those big trades as well in my career. And look, it's a big deal, and it's something that I think would be great for the city if we're able to pull it off. And sometimes, again, it takes two to tango on these things, and sometimes you just don't line up. You can work your tail off to try to access something, and somebody just wants to do a different deal, or the other team does, or they just see it a different way. And we'll just try to do what we can. But I certainly am of the mind where we want to do what we can to help here.
You're taking 15 minutes on a busy Legends weekend in the trade deadline for our show. We appreciate that. It shows what kind of person you are. How many missed calls and texts are you going to have during this because you took this time? You can feel
my phone jiggling, right now, but I actually do. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
So, how active is it? We don't know. Like, we love giving, as a player's point of view, that's why we love, being able to give a player's point of view for the show. What is your day right now looking like, and how much does that change 2-3 days out from the trade deadline?
Yeah, it's certainly, I think people are planting a lot of seeds. I think at the moment right now, teams are still reading where they're at in the standings. I don't think anybody's totally all in on where they're going yet. There are maybe a handful of teams, but for the most part, I think a lot of teams will try to drag this down to 72 to 48 hours before the deadline. And so, we'll see what happens. But I think at least sort of doing that work early, because I think, when you have those reps and conversations with other teams, you have a better sense of like, if this happens, if we decide to sell or buy, like you just have a better sense of what the other team is trying to do, and hopefully you can line up sooner than later.
Brian Cashman said, I think last week, he said, I think some of these records are giving people false hope or false whatever. Do you get different conversations from National League teams and American League teams? The American League, I mean, Boston, they went on an incredible run, but they were completely out, and now they're back in the mix. Like, do you get different calls from the different leagues that are conversating differently?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there are I've talked to a handful of American League teams that have mentioned, like, we're not that good. They're saying, like, but we still have a shot, you know? And so I think that's a real thing for several teams, and they just have to decide whether it's, you know, whether they're going to buy or sell or hedge or however that looks for them. But yeah, I do get a little bit of a different tone from the different leagues at the moment.
Yeah, and is there any numbers that you say, I do not want to talk to this person again, because the stuff that not because you don't respect them or anything like that, but the stuff that they're putting out there, you're like, this doesn't even. Why are you calling me?
No,
like a spam caller.
They probably think that about me, to be honest with you. But no, you try to have great relationships with the guys around the league, and
so you're him.
I'm him. Yeah,
you're him
on that front, just the annoying.
You call like AJ. If you get a call from AJ, it says unknown caller.
I was in the shower.
AJ's. Yeah, you're like.
Might have called. Yeah.
Oh, hey! I thought you wanted to move on this guy.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely be that guy. You know that. But it's great. You know, I have good relationships with the guys around the league, and you know, our staff honestly is making calls too. So we're trying to get as much information as we can to be ready. Yeah.
Matt, will you scout the Legends game today, or the alumni game? Will you scout it? And if there's someone that you think could do something, will you sign them to a minor league deal possibly?
Oh, no. Open to it. He's only doing big league deal. We know that. This guy's not taking it.
I mean, there's a lot of catchers. Teams need catchers, Matt. You could trade William Contreras and insert Kratz.
The reason teams need catchers is because they're all hitting what I hit when I played. So that's why they got me. They traded for me because they thought I was this elite receiver. And then I taught Manny Pena how to receive, and Manny P led the league the last month. And then they said, you know what we're going to do? This is something that we've never done and haven't done since, and go spend millions of dollars on a catcher, and they fired me. So, no, he's not scouting the game. He's going to – I want to know, if I win the MVP of the Legends game,
oof,
do I get a job as the special assistant to the whatever your actual title is?
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that. Yeah, we senior. It'd probably be like a junior, maybe not a senior assistant, but like a junior assistant for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
you're gonna win that MVP today. By the way, I will say, like, this guy doesn't give himself enough credit. Like, we're playing the Rockies today. This guy had some huge hits in the playoffs for us against the Rockies, man. Appreciate you. That was awesome.
Matt, I was there. Matt, by the way, I was there for that series. You could have had a blind guy playing 80 of your positions. You would have beat the Rockies that year. They were that bad. Oh, I promise you. I did that series. They were awful. They were not good that year. I'm sorry.
They just scored one run. That's all.
They were awful.
They decided not to bring their bats.
Matt, thank you. Matt, thank you. Tel Vassallo, it was nice of him to take a break from Game Changer to let you walk up there with him. So thank you, and to quit texting me. We really appreciate it. We'll be watching you at the trade deadline, and we will probably not critique you very hard. So thank you. We hope everything goes well, and we'll be right back. Thanks, Matt.
Appreciate you. Thank you, guys.